Good morning, my fellow miracles. It is Susan, your favorite optimistic drunk, here with you today. And what I want to talk about today is managing emotions. Part of recovery, throughout my recovery, 4+ years so far, is learning how to handle emotions. For most quote unquote normal people, I refer to normal people a lot, and my qualification for that is someone who doesn't suffer from the disease of addiction. But most normal people, I don't believe, are even really aware of how they handle their emotions. I think it's kind of intuitive. If they're happy, they laugh. If they're sad, they cry. If they're pissed, they, scowl and maybe speak loudly or speak harshly. For those of us who have worked through our disease of addiction, often it really takes hold because we're trying to damper emotions. We're trying to shut down feelings. I know for me, that was certainly a big part of my drinking, just really, really going full blown. I was feeling things, I was experiencing things I didn't know how to handle. And because of that, I just wanted to shut down, shut out, shut off. So, learning how to feel emotions as they come, learning how to express emotions appropriately, it's been quite an interesting journey so far. I do have to say, there are times I enjoy it so much. I'll feel just this surge of joy, and I literally will take a moment and just feel it. And I always try to express it, just a general thank you to my higher power. It's still odd for me when I experience frustration or anger to own that. Initially, those emotions would come out at pretty inappropriate times. In a way, it's like we're toddlers, we're like children. And you know how kids will experiment with different actions, and they'll see what those actions get them or don't get them. It's kind of the same in recovery. I can remember shortly after my dad died, when my sister and I were clearing out my parents' house. And it was so stressful, and she was away from her family, and we were both exhausted, emotionally spent and physically spent. Oh my goodness, she was spending 16, 18, 20 hours a day working on that. And I remember losing my temper with her. And I remember realizing at that time, oh my gosh, I have a temper. And that was such a eye-opener for me, because I've always thought of myself as, happy-go-lucky, peaceful, kind of the mediator in many things. So that was a big aha moment for me. I did not let it out appropriately at that time. Since then, I have learned, having a temper is not a bad thing. It makes me much less of a doormat. And that's a very positive thing. But at the same time, I need to manage my temper. Just as part of a functioning human being in society. You may notice your emotions take you all over the place. They swing a lot. And I do believe part of that is because we are permitting ourselves to feel them. Many of us, once we really started using, some people say the emotional intelligence of a person stops when they really become involved in drinking or using drugs. For me, that was appropriate. It was about the age of 16 when I started drinking, and even when I was young, man, I excelled at it. So I never really had the chance to properly develop from an emotional standpoint. Anytime I faced something too big, I would drink. And it obviously got much worse in my later life. But just feeling those emotions, recognizing that they're there, is a journey in and of itself. But it doesn't have to be a frightening journey. It doesn't have to be a negative journey. So what I want to express to you today is when you feel those emotions, recognize them, validate them, being able to properly manage them is a learned process. I don't know if I'll ever master it. I still, I've learned I'm an extremely emotional person. And that's something I knew when I was very young, and I'd shut it down for decades. Now I'm kind of embracing it as part of me, part of my charm, I guess. Yes, I cry easily. And I'm now realizing that's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign of the depth of my character. And that's a sign of my empathy and of my kindness. And, I wouldn't change that for the world. It has also actually been shown crying releases a chemical in the tears that actually helps your body heal. I'm going to have to get a little bit more factual on that in a future podcast, but that's something that's always fascinated me. But yes, crying is actually beneficial from a scientific level, so it helps you heal. So hey, let those tears flow. Let those tears flow. You may have noticed I've got some music playing in the background. Part of managing emotions for me has been to take time to be quiet, to take time for meditation. If you're cringing, don't worry. Meditation, you don't have to be good at meditation. You simply have to learn to be still and make that time, 10 minutes or so. 20 minutes is even better. But what's playing in the background right now, it's solfeggio tones. It's an online group called Meditative Minds, and they have a series of these videos. I literally play them 24/7 in my home. I have a laptop sitting in my office/bedroom, and I just have these playing. Whether or not they actually physically impact people, some say yes, some say no. I know for me, they have definitely made a marked improvement in my state of mind, in my ability to relax, in my sleep quality. I just love them. So again, solfeggio tones, Meditative Mind, going to give a shout out to those fine folks. They just have a series on things that can help remove negativity, things that can help you sleep better. And it's just kind of ethereal, nonstop music. So I can't sleep with silence, and I can't sleep with the TV on. So white noise is a good thing. It kind of fits into that category. So in closing, I just want to express to everyone, don't be afraid to feel, don't be scared of how powerful those feelings may come. It's part of our learning how to live with our beautiful minds and our beautiful souls, our beautiful broken brains. Just try to be aware. When you feel a really strong emotion coming, is that an appropriate time? Is that an appropriate place? It doesn't mean don't feel it, but there are times, like at work, if you're overcome with anger, maybe go to the restroom, and just, before you come back out and lay into your boss. Just think about the surroundings. Think about the appropriateness of expressing the emotion at that particular time. But don't hold them in. Don't shut them down. For me, that is the primary reason I drank. letting them out, letting emotions out, it's a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful sense of growth. It's a beautiful sense of release. So don't be afraid to feel. Anyway, I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the sunshine. Say something nice to a stranger. I'll talk to you soon.